Hey guys, so today we're making some double crust peach cobbler. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with the recipe. So I'm gonna start by making my dough. I am making a homemade dough, so I am going in with some all-purpose flour, but you can feel free to use some pie crust that you purchase from the store or whatever you choose to do. Um, and so after I put my flour, I'm going to add in some granulated sugar, and I'll be sure to list the ingredients in the description box below. I'm also going to add in a little bit of salt. And this is a crust that I've made previously for like my hand pies, as well as I want to say I made something else, but I can't think of it right now. But I am using some plant butter and some butter flavored Crisco for this recipe. I'm doing dairy free because my oldest has a dairy allergy and I want her to be able to enjoy the cobbler as well. So make sure your butter and your Crisco are both cold. And so I'm just cubing this up, and I'm going to add it to my dry ingredients, and then I'm going to use my dough blender to blend this all together. And what you're looking for is like pea-sized crumbles within this mixture. And once that is all nice and combined like that, you're going to add in some cold vodka and some water. And so this is vodka mixed with water together. You want to make sure that it's ice cold for your dough. You don't have to use the vodka if you don't want to. I got this dough recipe from the stay-at-home chef, and so there is some type of science behind putting the vodka in the dough, and I don't know what it is, but I will list it in the description box below. And so after you add in your liquid slowly, you want it to do it until it is just combined. It's still going to be a little bit crumbly, but you're going to flour your clean work surface, and you're just going to knead the dough for a little bit. You don't want your Crisco and your butter to get too warm, so you want to work kind of quickly. And so I'm just gonna form this until it is nice and combined. Use additional flour if you need to, and then I'm gonna break this into two different balls of dough, and I'm gonna wrap it with some plastic wrap, and I'm gonna place it in the refrigerator. I ended up doing that overnight because I wasn't making it the same day. And so next I'm going to make my peach mixture, and so I have 4 cans of peaches in heavy syrup. I'm only using the syrup from 2 cans, but if you want extra like juice, you can add all of the liquid if you want to. And so I'm just adding all of this in with some of that plant butter, and then I'm going in with about 1/2 cup of some brown sugar. I'm going to add in some ground nutmeg as well as some ground cinnamon, and you can season this to your taste. You can put as much or as little cinnamon and nutmeg as you wish. I'm also going to add in a little bit of salt. And you're going to stir all of this together. Now, I know some people don't cook their peach mixture before they make their cobbler. It's really your choice. And so be sure to add in some citrus. So I'm using the juice of 1 lemon. If you don't have lemon, you can use orange, but that citrus really does wake up the flavor for the peach mixture. I'm also going to add in a little bit of rum extract as well as some vanilla extract. You don't have to add the rum if you don't want to. You can use like some bourbon or something like that, some whiskey, whatever you want, or omit it if you don't want that in there. But I just added the rum extract for some additional flavor. And so I'm just going to cook this for a little bit. We are going to add in a cornstarch slurry just so that our liquid can thicken up a bit, because you don't want it too runny in your peach cobbler. And so next I'm going to flour my clean work surface because I want to roll out my dough. And since I am doing a double crust cobbler, I'm going to roll out the one for the bottom, and I did grease my pan, and so I did all of that. I wanted to make sure everything was ready. So I'm just gonna roll this out until it's the size of my pan. And you want it's not going to be perfect at all, by no means. But you want to get a general idea of how long or big your pan is, how deep it is, and that's going to determine how much dough you want. Again, if you are using like pre-made dough, you might need to buy a couple of them, because depending on the size of your pan, like one sheet of pre-made dough might not fit the entire length of your pan. And so this is a 9 by 13 baking pan, and I am just putting my dough on there, and I did grease it with some pan coat, or you can use like some nonstick spray or just some butter. And I did par bake it in the oven for about 8 minutes. I don't know if that was necessary, but I saw a few other videos that did that, so I did bake it for about 8 minutes or so. And then I just poked some holes in it. And so now I'm gonna roll out my top dough so that it'll be ready once I pour my peach mixture in there. And then at the last minute, I decided that I wanted to do like a lattice like type of situation, which was a fail because I am not a baker. But anyway, I added in my peach mixture, and so I did have leftover dough, so I cut a few pieces up and made like some dumplings. This was not necessary. I feel like this would have came out better if I had a deeper pan and more liquid, but it is what it is. The dough didn't go to waste. And so I'm just gonna put my strips across my pan just like this. And again, it's not gonna be perfect, it's not gonna be the prettiest, but I was just trying something different. And so I'm gonna do a few strips that way and then a few the other way, and I just kind of did over under. I've seen a few people who just put it straight across. If that works for you, you can. And so after I get all of this across on here, I'm going to sprinkle on some cinnamon and some granulated sugar. And then I am going to bake it in the oven for about, I want to say it was about 45 minutes or so. But again, that's going to depend on the size of your pan. You can brush this with some butter if you want to. I chose not to, but you certainly can brush it with some butter. And so I put this in the oven, and this is what it looks like when it came out. And so I know some people there make the inside is not as dark as mine, but that's probably because I use brown sugar. Some people use just granulated sugar, but this is the finished product, you guys. And so I did serve this with some vanilla ice cream with some caramel sauce on top. But yeah, this was really delicious. Perfect dessert for the holidays. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Happy holidays. Bye.